in some ways even talking about remembering Guantanamo is premature. In some ways we're too close to the events that transpired there to view them in their full significance, and in other ways those events are continuing, metastasizing, and growing.
I think it's important for us to understand how that came about, not just because of September 11th, but how the United States managed to carve out a piece of physical land that was isolated from the eyes of the world, how they managed to create a legal system that was outside existing domestic and international law. And I don't think that these things were created out of thin air after September 11th. There's a long history there that led up to this.
What engages me about Guantanamo is not the history of the specific place or the specific time, so much as the way that Guantanamo connects to, the history of Guantanamo connects to other moments in American history and builds on other moments in American history.
Well, the thing that I would want to tell people about Guantanamo is that it is in Cuba. So first of all, for people to really recognize that it's not a legal black hole, it's not some sort of theoretical space, but that it's in a foreign country, which is nearby us, and us being the United States.
Guantanamo was supposed to be an island outside the law, and it is an island outside the law, or it was an island outside the law, and in many respects it still is. And we should learn from that experience rather than forget it, because I think that if more people knew who was being held at Guantanamo and on what basis, it would be less likely that we'd have another prison like this in the future.
Guantanamo, I think, is particularly important to remember because we seem as a nation very disinclined to remember this catastrophe, really, I would call it, of the last 10 years. Our President Barack Obama, who came into office opposed to Bush administration national security policy and Bush administration policy at Guantanamo, seems inclined to ignore the past, and by ignoring it, perhaps inadvertently perpetuate it. So I think that you can't know yourselves as a country without knowing your history.